It was good. It was busy. It was good.
I'm back.
Yeah, thank you.
Major.
Hi, Colonel.
How you doing? How are you? How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you.
How are you?
You too.
Nice to see you. Good?
Yep, thank you.
Good. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you doing this. First and foremost, as a father, as the chief of police, and as a community member, my heart goes out to the family for their loss. I just want to commend the great work that the detectives did, and also the great work that the patrol division did. And the quick response allowed us to make a quick apprehension and seize evidence at the scene. It goes without words to say that their work is commendable. And it was late at night, and detectives showed up, and the officers showed up, and the quick responses what brought us here. I will turn it over to Major Lapinian to be able to provide you with the details of what occurred and the great work that I just mentioned that the officers did.
Thank you, Colonel. Okay. So we'll talk about Burnside Avenue first, 221 Burnside Avenue. We were called there at about 5:30 in the morning for a shooting. Upon arrival, there was one man found dead at the inside of this house. It was a private house, and it looks like it had like an after-hours drinking establishment there. How it unraveled is witnesses had pointed out to the possible shooter. Patrol officers apprehended him very quickly. Detectives then arrived on the scene, sorted everything out, and he was charged with the murder of the victim. I believe he'll be in court later on this afternoon, and I'll give you his name after we complete this, okay? Is there any questions on Burnside?
How quickly was he apprehended after the incident?
Probably, I don't know, within 15 minutes, 20
Really?
minutes.
Nearby, or?
Yes.
How many shots were fired into the victim and where?
So probably a couple. I'm not going to give you an exact figure, but let's just say more than one. And it was in the basement of that house.
Did you got the video that show the whole party? Because there's broadcast a video.
Well, we do have some video. I'm not going to really say right now what it's going to show, but with all the circumstances and all the facts and all the evidence, we had enough to charge the suspect with the murder.
How you got the video?
Well, the community's been very helpful, as always. Thank you.
What's the relationship between the shooter and the victim? Friends,
There was none.
family?
There was
Didn't
none.
know.
What we believe right now, there was none. Like, it's still early, and we're still working on it. Even though you have somebody in custody, you still have to keep going.
Do you know what it was about? Did they argue?
Yeah, it's so we believe it started as a just an argument that led to the shooting.
What kind of weapon? What kind of gun?
It was an automatic handgun.
It wasn't a ghost gun.
I believe it was a ghost gun.
You think it wasn't, right?
We're having it tested as we speak.
When you say after-hours establishment, was it like they were running a bar out of their house or just a get-together? They were.
So it looks like now that what happens is when the clubs close at 2 or 3 in the morning, these places pop up and they have an after-hours establishment. And we've been dealing with them for 30 years, 40 years.
It's definitely a nuisance that we have in the city, and it's unfortunate, and it's something that we're strongly working on to ensure that the safety of our citizens is there. So,
How many people do you think were partying sort of in that?
Quite a
Place.
few. I mean, I don't know. I mean, exact count I can't give you, but there was a few people there. So, and that one now is, we got to finish our investigation. Like I said, we do have somebody that will be charged this afternoon, and we have to meet with families, and the hard part comes through. Okay.
Does the shooter have a previous record?
As of now, I believe he does, but nothing that sticks out to us as being violent.
Major, this is the second shooting homicide this year. Where were we last year at this point?
we're lower. Our violent crime right now is 20% down for the month. In the year to date, we have about 4 shooters, including the 2 homicides.
Can you say a little bit in Spanish, en español, de lo que pasó el domingo con el homicidio?
Sí, claro, desafortunadamente en la ciudad, en la mañana del domingo, tuvimos un reportaje en el cual tuvimos que ir y encontrar una persona que había sido impactada con bala. Los detectives hicieron la investigación y los patrulleros también, hicieron un buen trabajo, respondieron muy rápido. So, your question was asked to me for me to be able to explain something in Spanish and just kind of overview exactly what the mayor and myself be speaking about. So,
Now the follow-up question, you had a visit here yesterday. The ambulance came to the police station, you had a car that was abandoned on Broad Street, Central High School, all destroyed, and 2 people that died in the car accident. They were burned, they died in the fire, or how did they die?
yeah, the vehicle was engulfed in flames. It was an accident that unfortunately was a vehicle that was coming down Pine Street, ended up in a collision on East Franklin, and 2 people actually tragically died in that because the vehicle engulfed in flames and they died. The individuals died. Our traffic division responded and our reconstruction team responded, and we're currently investigating that as well.
Well, the one of the person died inside the car by the fire.
That's correct. Yes.
Did they hit the barrier there?
Correct. They hit the barrier at a very high rate of speed.
Do you know the ages of the victims in that crash?
I do not.
Okay. There was a shooting on North Main?
Yeah, so
Double shooting, was it?
there was one person shot on North Main. And so what happened there is what we're getting. We went to, it was at 795 North Main Street, picked the parking lot of Action Auto Parts. 2 cars met there, and both subjects got out of their cars and said they were going to have, a fight over something. And one of them pulled the gun out and shot the victim. So he was taken to Rhode Island Hospital, and he is stable and will survive from those injuries. And the investigation does go on. We have some good leads, and we are working those right now.
What was their relationship to each other?
We don't know.
So what happened with the
We
car?
have an idea what the argument was about. We're not going to put that out yet, but as far as the relationship, I don't know if they have one.
The car that was found in Central High School, all destroyed early in the morning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that vehicle was towed from scene. It was early. It all happened at the same exact time, but we didn't find out at this point that it was in any way linked to the incident that we just spoke about with the accident.
What did the ambulance want to do here yesterday morning to 2 ambulances?
Yeah, so they were here for people that were, we had a lot of people here, witnesses from the shooting on Burnside. Some of them weren't feeling well. Obviously, it's a traumatic situation, so when that happens, we call the rescue for them.
More than one person taken out by rescue, or
I don't know if they were actually taken out or treated
Oh,
yet. I'm not sure.
distraught family members, perhaps? Were they distraught family members of? the
Witnesses, yeah.
Witnesses,
Witnesses.
okay. Can we go back and identify the victim and the suspect in this?
Yeah, I'll give you those after, okay?
Yeah.
Jefe, hablando del homicidio de este fin de semana, sabemos que el tema de esas fiestas ilegales en los sótanos de las casas es algo que la ciudad ha estado batallando durante muchos años. Explícanos primero que nada qué son estas fiestas en los basements y por qué son ilegales, y qué va a hacer la ciudad para tratar de controlar esto, porque cada vez que se escucha un tiroteo, de pronto un homicidio, muchas veces ocurren en esas fiestas.
Sí, desafortunadamente, so the question was had to do with what is the city doing about this nuisance task force, these nuisance houses that come and pop up in our city.
¿Te podrías acercar un poquito en el medio
Claro,
para
sí.
el micrófono? Gracias.
Yeah, so en el pasado, verdaderamente tenemos la ciudad está dividida en 7 diferentes distritos. Cada teniente se ha encargado de lo que es la calidad de vida en esas áreas. Cuando encontramos o tenemos información de estas casas, trabajamos directamente con el City Solicitor y ellos nos ayudan. Tenemos una ley, una orden en la que llama para el Nuisance Task Force. Cuando recibimos estas casas, tomamos acción, pero obviamente toma evidencia, toma trabajo, y tenemos que asegurarnos que tenemos la suficiente evidencia y no estamos violando ningún tipo de violación de una casa familiar y que es más bien un negocio. Cuando encontramos eso, entonces los llevamos a esta unidad y ahí tomamos acción.
¿Qué repercusiones pueden enfrentar los dueños de esas casas?
So, eso es lo que los detectives están investigando y también en colaboración con el Attorney General's Office a ver qué tenemos que hacer en ese sentido.
¿Y qué mensaje le mandas a esos residentes que viven en esas zonas y que se mantienen quejando por esas fiestas?
Que llamen a la policía, que entren a un tipo de acuerdo de colaboración con los tenientes, nos pueden mandar correos, y a los dueños de estas casas que sepan que si van a hacer este tipo de acciones que tienen una responsabilidad muy grande, que tal vez hasta les puede afectar la libertad de ellos mismos.
When you talk
Can you
about
say that in
nuisance-
English?
Yes,
too?
I'm
No,
sorry,
because-
yeah, so it was kind of long, yeah, I apologize.
Yes,
So yeah,
that's fine.
my response to that was that, the city's divided into 9 different districts. Each district is commanded by a lieutenant who's in charge of the quality of life of our city. We work in conjunction with the Attorney General's office and with community members identifying these homes, but we have to be very specific when we find evidence that these homes are actually a house or after hours. And if we do, then at that point we'll take action. We have an ordinance that we use, which is the nuisance, through the nuisance task force. We'll bring evidence against these homes, and then when we find out that we have enough, then we'll bring them and then we'll take action along with the Attorney General's office, the City Solicitor's office, and the police department. It takes work, because the last thing we want to do is violate someone's home just because they're having a mayor party, right? But if we find out we have evidence that is in fact a problem, and the other message that I said was that to these owners to ensure that if they get involved in this type of incidents in the city, know that they're responsible. And the consequence of that could be their freedom or criminal charges against them. It's important to know that they're responsible for the laws and this tragedy that happened over the weekend.
So what qualifies as like one of these nuisance after hours party? At what point is it breaking ordinance?
Breaking ordinance is the fact that, you have large amounts of people overcrowded in the house. We have evidence that they're selling and charging for liquor. We have evidence that they're charging the entrance into these locations. We have evidence that there's fights inside these basements. It's clear evidence that there's problems in the neighborhood. And these people need to know that that's not something that is in favor of the community that they are part of. So,
You're talking generally, not specifically about the incident the other night.
correct. I'm talking generally, and also that this particular home, obviously, we have past incidents that were documented in the past about this location. Correct.
So do
Have
you
you
think-
taken action with regard to
We're
this
working.
place?
We're working on that. Correct. Yes.
You're working on it now?
We've been working on it, but again, it's
Okay.
just it takes work.
'Cause
So
the
you're working
majors-
on that for this case, sorry. Go ahead.
So the major has told us about a few of these incidents over the years. How active is the department in pursuing these cases involving these after-hours homes?
We're pretty active. It's just like, like I mentioned Steve earlier, it takes work. We gotta make sure that we have enough evidence to move forward with them. If it's one incident, it's one thing, but when we can prove that it's actually a nuisance in the neighborhood, and we have to be able to prove that.
I heard you mention the city solicitor.
Correct.
What's the procedure for pursuing that?
So we write it up and we bring them up, we set up a day, they come in front of the nuisance task force, and then there's certain individuals that are part of that task force and that board, and then we present the evidence and they take action.
So you have a board that hears these cases?
Correct, yeah, and it's through the city solicitor's office, correct.
Do these people
And it's
often,
not just, I'm sorry?
do they often hire an attorney or,
If they're, it all depends when, when they have to come in front of the board, correct?
okay.
Well, I may be using the wrong name, the terminology for the board, but it's in front of actual
Who's on the
members.
board?
I couldn't mention that to you right now by name, no.
Yeah, no, but I mean, is it statutory or is it
Yes,
by
yes,
ordinance?
Yeah, by ordinance, yeah, it was something that we had applied years ago, and it was put through, we made the plans, we wrote the language,
Yeah,
and it was approved by the council,
okay.
yes.
Okay, is that it?
Just one quick question.
Yes.
Chief, you've been on the job for all 4 days.
I just started yesterday at a new job, and I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
It seems obvious, but in retrospect, how important was it to elevate someone from within so that you literally hit the ground running within minutes?
So I wanted to stick on this press conference regarding the homicide, but I'll give you a quick answer. I think it's important to ensure that we have people from the department, because we know the job. We've been doing it for a while. Any one of us could take lead in this department. I was fortunate enough to give them the privilege to do so, and the experience, the practical experience, the knowledge of the community, the knowledge of the of who resides in this community, is the work, the street work that we've been doing for so many years. That has some sort of value, and it's important because we can relate to the social ills that this city has faced in many years in the past. And it's important to have that knowledge. When you bring somebody from the outside, those people have to educate themselves and learn and make connections in the city. The partnerships that we've been able to build under the last chief, who I admire. So I think it's critical to make sure that we have individuals in this department to continue the movement that we're on. So.
Just you have one final question about the car accident. Did you be able to ID the two passengers?
We're working on that. The traffic division, like I said, we had a very busy weekend, and they are working on that, and they're doing an excellent job. We should be able to work with many other entities.
Can you say how old they were, or?
I'm not sure about that. No, I don't have the exact age. Yeah.
What can you tell us about the shooter and the victim here?
Yeah. So let's go to Burnside. Suspect in our custody identified as Antonio Rayson, R-E-Y-S-O-N, Leonor,
I'm sorry,
Y-S-O-N,
Uh-huh.
Leonor, L-E-O-N-O-R, and the last name U-F-F-R-E.
How do you say it?
You free?
Okay.
Can
How
you
old?
spell it again? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Antonio Rayson, Leonor.
You want the whole name again?
Yeah.
First name Antonio. Second name Rayson, R-E-Y-S-O-N. Third name Leonor, L-E-O-N-O-R. Last name Ufree, U-F-F-R-E. And he is, I believe, 26 or 27 years old.
Providence resident?
He is, we have him at two, we have him at in Florida, Orlando, and we have him in Woonsocket also. So, one of those.
The charges on him, can you say those?
Yeah.
So, he's gonna be charged with murder, possession of a ghost gun during the commission of a crime, discharging a firearm while committing crime of violence. The victim is Ivan, I-V-A-N, Encarnacion, E-N-C-A-R-N-A-C-I-O-N. And he is
Can you spell the last name one more time?
E-N-C-A-R-N-A-C-I-O-N. He is 25, and we have the suspect at 26, so correct that.
You know where Ivan's from?
He's from Providence.
He didn't live at that address on Burnside, did he?
No, neither one of them lived there. And the victim from North Main Street,
Yep.
Mario Severino, S-E-V-E-R-I-N-O. I do not have a date of birth available right now, but I will get it for you before you leave. Okay, and that'll be it. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I need to take a picture, just one moment, please.
I ask if you need any other updates, to please just refer to Lindsay sometimes.
Yeah, I need a picture, Bob.
Yep.
Over here, caballeros.
Thank you. Yeah, just to refer to Lindsay, I want to make sure that we're respectful to your needs, but
Thank you.
just want to make sure that if I miss me, reach out to Lindsay, it'd probably be easier. So, thank you. Good job.
Thank you.